Well, other feature that is new is the Simware web extension. We have created a new way of connecting web systems with simulation, with Simware. For doing that, we have incorporated an external standard that is called LTI. LTI is a standard that has been created by e-learning rich applications group, and the idea is connecting rich learning applications with external tools. For example, you can have your typical web course, Coursera, and you can launch an application and have a great back to you. So we are using this architecture, this standard, for providing simulation as a server to your website. Indeed, this is modeling and simulation as a service. Well, as a typical use case that is included in the product, we have the e-learning inclusion. We have examples of how to add simulation to e-learning. For example, you have the typical SCORM-based course for piloting a flight, for changing the pieces of a car. And now, with this technology, you can add a simulation made on the fly as part of the course you are providing. And you can have a great back for it. Let me show you. Well, in this first example, we will see an e-learning application that is going to create a web example of the use of a robot, of a UAV. The idea is that we are using here the same instructions that a real robot using JAWS, which is one of the standards of robotics, will use. Well, first thing, we have to start the server, the intermediate between Simware and LTI. It's just a script we call. And now we can go to any website here or remote. If we are using a web server, can be remote, and connect to our pre-made course. Well, for doing that, we are using something that is called Moodle, but this is really not important. The idea is that if you can use LTI technology, and for example, by using Moodle you can use it, by using Android you can use it, then you can connect to our simulation. Well, we have created a course here. We log in here. This could be any SCORM application, for example. And now we have to make something for passing the course. By the way, also we can incorporate here, and this is very interesting, a live recording of anything. We will see later that we have a new recorder, and we can incorporate the recording as a tutorial of this lesson also. Well, in this case, it's a very simple example. We are going to launch a console that mimics the behavior of a UAV, and you have to move the motors of the UAV to reach a certain position. As a result, you can have a great back. Of course, this is simulation under demand. This can be anywhere. Well, we started. Now we can move the controls. And the idea is that we have to move the UAV to a certain position. Well, at the end, we are going to have a great back. Second example we can see here is using something that is incorporated with the Simware installation that is called SimSaves. SimSaves is a typical example of the creation of publishers and subscribers. Well, we start the server again, the same. And now we start our course on the website. we log in as a pupil or as an administrator in this case, but could be any pupil. And now we launch the exercise. The exercise in this case is we are going to launch safe example. We are going to load automatically in a scenario, and the user has to make an action that is has to create 5 squares in less than 30 seconds. It's a very simple example. Take into account that this in shapes is not something that has been pre-created. It's something that is made using the tools of the installation of Simware on the fly and under demand. This means that this could be any other thing. This means also that this can connect with the rest of the things that Simware already integrates. For example, with external codes like BBS2 or Presagis. Well, in this case, we launch the example. Now, the simulation is created remotely and comes to us. So we are providing the user with that 2 elements. We start the simulation. And by starting, we load 2 circles. We will see that in a moment. And the idea is that we have 30 seconds to create 5 squares that come from a circle. And we have to make that creating 1 square each 2 seconds. The exercise can be anything, and the grade can be anything you wish. So we have 3, 4 squares, 5 squares, and now we have a grade back, which is 68.